What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to RJF Media. I'm Rob, and on this one, I'm going to be talking about two players in specific that I think the Jets absolutely need to overpay for if need be in order to bring them onto this team in 2024. So when looking at the 2024 offseason, it's clear that there are definitely two positions of need that completely overlap anything else, and that's offensive tackle and wide receiver. And I think the two players that absolutely need to be, if necessary, need to be overpaid for is both Michael Onwenu, sorry if I butchered that, right tackle from the New England Patriots, and T. Higgins, wide receiver from the Cincinnati Bengals. So the first one being Michael Onwenu. First thing that stands out to me is his durability, playing a total of 64 games in his 4-year career and starting 56 of them. Of various positions throughout the offensive line, both guard and tackle. This last season, he played primarily at the right tackle position. But I mean, that right there shows his versatility and his durability, his availability, something that this Jets team absolutely needs, especially with all the injuries to the offensive line this year. And really just in past recent years, just every year seems like we lead the league in offensive line rotations throughout the year, different matchups. We never end with the same starters that we begin with. But even though primarily playing right tackle this past year, Michael Onwenu, I'm just going to call him Michael O. He really shined, even though it's technically, I guess, not his natural position, but he plays it well. Only giving up 3 sacks and 4 penalties, which is absolutely huge because this offensive line all year just seemed to be super penalized, false starts, a lot of pre-snap penalties. Just didn't seem like they knew really what was going on. And I think having a player that's disciplined like that, I think will be absolutely huge. I think it will for sure strengthen up that right side of the line, especially if you want to have AVT come back and play right guard, his natural position. Or if you want to move him out to tackle, whatever it may be. Either way, it strengthens that offensive line immensely. To add stability is something that this Jets team desperately needs. Something else that stands out is his run and pass blocking grades, where he had a 72.6 run blocking grade and a 64.9 pass blocking grade. That pass blocking grade obviously isn't fantastic. It's not top 10 material, but what I would like to note is he also had a pass blocking efficiency grade of just over 94, which shows that he's able to adjust and move his target off the ball, move him off the quarterback, and to reduce the number of sacks and hits and everything like that given up, which I think obviously is a great thing. Again, shows his athleticism, his versatility, being able to do that, and even his. I think those numbers will improve if, the Jets put him at right tackle and make that his primary position. Something else I want to note is he's never had an overall grade of worse than 71, which I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but I would assume would probably be the best, if not one of the best on this offensive line, even when healthy. As far as the numbers for the contract go, PFF estimates his value around $15 million a year. If I'm the Jets, look, I'm going to him and I'm saying we'll give you $18 million a year for 4 years, $35 million guaranteed. I really think that, especially this offseason, the Jets and JD, and more specific, he needs to find a way. He needs to just close deals. We all heard from the Odell Beckham podcast and. Just witnessed it from seasons before that he's been able to put out competitive offers there, but it kind of seems like he lacks that killer instinct to go all in and say, this is what we'll give you, take it or leave it kind of thing, which it kind of seems like the Baltimore Ravens did with Odell Beckham. Said, here's our offer, you get on that plane, go see the Jets, and it's off the table. JD just needs to find a way to close these deals. It's not for a lack of trying, but like I said, he's got to have that killer instinct this year to, especially for positions of need like this, needs to go out there and put out the best contract and say, this is what we're giving you. This is where we're starting at. It's better than, what you're expected to get or offers that you already have. Let's get this done. Let's sit down. Let's get this done. What is it going to take? But that's why I would start. 18 million a year, 4 years, 35 million guaranteed. Keep him here guaranteed for at least 2 years. Pay him his money. Signing bonus, whatever. Work that out. And again, this isn't a year to sit back, put out an offer, let them play the market, see what happens, be aggressive, go out, get these guys. So, Michael O, the first player that I would go out there and absolutely overpay for if need be. Now, guarantee I'm not overpaying $10-20 million, but a few $1,000,000 where JD's kind of been hesitant the past few years. Just give him the money, go out, get it. The Jets hack's going to be full swing again this offseason. We all know it. We all accept it. Get it done. So the second player I want to talk about is T. Higgins. I know a lot of people want Mike Evans. This is why I would choose T. Higgins. One, he's younger, so it not only greatly improves your team for this season, but also going forward. You're not picking one or the other, where it's like Mike Evans is in his early 30s, so okay, 2-year contract, and then what? I think that 4-year. I'll get into the contract in a little bit, but I think being able to sign T. Higgins for longer, him being younger, I think it lines up better with Garrett Wilson and his future with the Jets as well, whether or not he resigns or wherever the case may be. Two, T. Higgins is known around the league as one of the top number 2 receivers. He can also be a number 1 receiver for stretches if need be. God forbid something happens to Garrett Wilson. He also has that ability, big playmaking ability, but definitely a top number 2, one of the top number 2s in the league. I'll say top 5, maybe top 3 number 2 options in the league, and that's exactly what this Jets team needs, with Garrett Wilson being the obvious number 1 to take pressure off of him. In 58 career games, he has 257 receptions for 3,684 yards and 24 touchdowns, which averages out to be about 14.5 games a season, 921 yards and 6 touchdowns. He also has an average of 14.3 yards per reception, which shows his ability to get downfield, make big plays, be explosive. And, I think a common factor between Higgins and Michael O is definitely that durability and that availability. Again, like I just said, he averages out about 14.5 games a season. Michael O, to be honest, I didn't get those numbers, but I think really his one season was either his second year or last year where he missed a couple of games. Other than that, he's been extremely available, extremely durable. And as far as T. Higgins' contract, I know he's estimated to get around 18-20 million a year. I would personally start at 20. And again, I would for 4 years, and I would sit him down and say, okay, what do we need to get this done? We don't want you to leave here without a contract. Again, JD needs to be aggressive. He needs to have that killer instinct. He needs to close the deal, not let T. Higgins play the market, see what happens, come back with a counter offer. Because look, he's going to be in high demand. There's a lot of really good teams around the league that are going to need receiver help. And the Jets with finishing the past 2 seasons, just collapsing pretty much. They need to be more aggressive than other teams in order to get these players to help this team out. Again, with T. Higgins, I think a 4-year contract really lines up well with Garrett Wilson's, what he has left, and then if he signs an extension or whatever, I think that's where it comes into play. It's also really good for the future as well as right now. I think both of these moves fills a crucial need at both tackle and receiver. I think another thing it does is, while filling those needs, it allows you to free up that number 10 pick to kind of have more options with it, whether go, best player available, or trade down, recoup a second, and then see what else is out there. Like in my last video, I talked about how I want Brock Bowers. That would be amazing. T. Higgins, Brock Bowers, Garrett Wilson. I think that is probably one of the best trios in football. But that was the last video. This is this video. So I think there's this organization needs to be creative. I've talked about in my past videos. They need to get away from the mentality they have now. The again, just letting players play the market. Oh, it's okay if this doesn't. If it's okay if T. Higgins doesn't work out, we'll go get a C tier receiver. This doesn't work. No, you need to be aggressive, especially with a 1, maybe 2 year window. And you're talking about being all in, all gas, no break. You need to go out and you need to identify the players you want, and you need to go out and get them, because that's what the good teams do. They get the players they want. Granted, I know it's different for the Jets with the past 2 seasons, jet tax and all that. It doesn't matter. If you're all in for 2 years, be all in for 2 years. Don't be half in. Well, we don't want to spend that much. Who cares? Spend the money. These 2 moves help you now and for the future. So it's a win-win. And look, I don't even mind if they overpay them because of the Jets tax. I understand these are 2 good, young, solid, reliable players. Again, Owenu, I think, will just improve with being a full-time right tackle. And Higgins, I think, is a top number 2 option in this league, and that's what the Jets need. They need to be more explosive. They need to get younger. They need to get healthier on this team, and that's just what needs to happen. So that's all I got. Those are just my thoughts. Those are the 2 players I would definitely overpay for if I'm the New York Jets. Like, share, comment down below. Tell me what you think. Do you think the receiver should be Mike Evans? Whatever the case may be, what would you pay? Do you think the Jets need to overpay? Do you think the Jets should fix their issues in the draft? What do you think? Let me know. Until next time, see you later.